CJ, I'm going to start off this Friday night like I start off every Friday night with... Well, I don't think I can do this. Can I do this? Trump in the news. So that was pretty cool. I wasn't sure that was going to work.
Well, now you got to turn that into one of those drops.
Oh, that's probably true. Yeah, I got to do that.
That worked exceedingly well.
We got to do that next time.
Yeah,
for sure.
We haven't even talked about time zones yet.
Thanks for bringing that one up, CJ.
A regular segment.
Yeah,
Time zone update.
We were trying to leave that alone, but we're not going to get away with that, evidently. So yeah, it looks like your man Trump is slowly sinking in the quicksand of his own mess. Because
okay, hold on. How is this hit? Okay, it's
his own machinations.
Yeah, it's all his. It's all his fault. Mess, yeah. So now it looks like he may be facing possible charges of obstruction of justice.
Never going to happen.
Behind the Comey scandal.
Never going to happen.
You don't think so?
No, it's not going to happen.
Because the president can't be charged?
Yeah,
no,
yeah, because he'll try and pardon himself at some point.
Wasn't that kind of the whole crux of, I forget whose it was, testimony? Was it? There's a little guy with the peanut head. I can't remember his name.
The little guy with the peanut head.
But he was saying that he wouldn't testify because he didn't want to say something that Trump wouldn't be able to give himself the ability to deny later or something like that. At least that's the spin that CNN was putting on it.
Was that the fan on your computer or on Todd's computer that
Probably
I was listening to?
Probably mine.
Oh my God, that thing is loud.
Yeah.
Was it spicy?
Maybe I should turn the air conditioner back on.
Maybe you should.
I could drown out some of the fan noise.
Seriously. Holy cow, that thing was noisy.
I told you. That's why I got to have the extra fan.
Yeah, seriously. And apparently we need a much larger... Maybe we should get a box fan, put it on a table, and we can set your computer atop that. And it might actually kill some of that fan noise.
Chevelle's got the newest laptop, yet for some reason we're using my laptop for all the heavy-duty lifting.
What? What yours actually has a better processor.
He bought the fantastic top-of-the-line machine. It was so top-of-the-line, it doesn't have an Ethernet connection.
It's maybe on the line, but it's not the top of the line.
Yeah, every time he goes up to one of our computers, he's like, why? What's wrong with your touch screen?
I do that so much now. I found myself doing that on my television.
I'm going to try and forget you said that.
Why are you that close to your television?
I actually got up and walked to the television.
Like, what's wrong with this
to
touch
pause
screen?
Please tell me you are making that up.
It was late. I was a little tired. I walked up to the TV and I touched it, and it didn't pause. I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
Oh.
Was this after you ate half a pizza?
Pretty no, by the way, did you notice that CJ is totally trying to deflect the story about...
I don't think it's going to happen. I think that a lot of this is fake news.
Really?
Okay? Yes, really.
I think he is going to be the victim of a witch hunt. I really do think they are starting a witch hunt now because they're looking for something to take him down with. But it's because he has been so inflammatory in every way, shape, form, and sense of the word from the moment he got into the big office.
There is no crime against being inflammatory.
Perhaps there isn't, but
in fact, I hear it's a medical condition.
The thing is that basically everybody else is so conservative and so tight in politics that he's looked at as one gigantic hemorrhoid, and they are loading up the Preparation H cannons to get him.
Wow. How long were you working on that one?
You know, that just came to me just now. Seriously.
Wow.
You're just mad you didn't think of it.
Kind of gross, actually. That is, wow. It's interesting you should say that, though, because he has successfully alienated
everyone.
Yeah, pretty much everyone. I don't want to say everyone because the same thing people were saying before Trump is true today. Before he became president. That's what I mean when I say before Trump. And that is that the people who are his hardcore supporters are going to be his hardcore supporters, period. There's nothing you can do about those people. The other people that may not have been those hardcore supporters but still voted for him anyway just knew they did not want Hillary.
Yeah.
And I've said since midnight that night in November when people started crying and admitting that they had, in fact, elected Trump president, that was one of the, leading up to it, I was not, and I would probably say that I actually am not a Trump supporter.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that because, well, you know what, I'm going to just go out and say, my wife I didn't want to throw her under the bus, but I'm going to. My wife pointed out that you have done a 180.
I'm not a Trump supporter.
Since his election, because prior to his election, you were talking about him like, oh my God, I can't believe he's gotten that far. And since he got on there, you've become fanboy number one.
No, I'm not a fanboy.
Yes, you are.
No, let me explain what I am.
Okay.
Because I do not like Trump. I do not like his tactics. I actually do not like a lot of his policies. I don't know all of them. Yeah, I do not.
I do not like him here. I do not like him there.
I do not like him
anywhere.
He's really not very good at a whole lot of things. The one thing he is good at is the thing that got him into the presidency, and that is
being the
marketing and branding. He's good at marketing and branding himself. And part of the reason why he has been so successful is because he's managed to surround himself by people who like him and are loyal to him.
Mm-hmm.
And when they stop liking him and stop being loyal to him, he gets rid of them.
Yeah.
And you don't have to look too far past.
Which is how come they're now looking at him for obstruction of justice. Because when Comey stopped being on his side and started looking at him
Comey was never on his side.
All of a sudden now he's gone. If that doesn't look suspicious, I'm not sure what would.
Yeah, I still don't think they're going to get anything on him.
Around the White House saying, you're loyal to me over everything else, right?
Well,
didn't he ask for oath of loyalty?
That's what he was saying.
In the very beginning.
Actually saying that to people.
One of the guys that I've been listening to recently during the politics, there's these two. There's you got the conservative tirades and you got the liberal tirades. I would go as far as say leftists. The leftists, they don't make any sense at all. The liberals, they can make sense. Leftists make sense. There's a distinction. I watch Ben Shapiro. He can explain it better than me. Anyway, but Ben Shapiro has this one thing that he says about Trump because he is a very conservative guy, and he was not a Trump supporter. He's still not a Trump supporter. He was one of the never-Trumpers that made all of the other Trump supporters very angry. And one of the things he says, a lot of people try to attribute his behavior to malice, and he says never attribute to malice what you can attribute to stupidity. A lot of what he's doing is just stupid, but people are acting like he's some super genius, insane guy who's just on a tirade, and I don't think that's the case. I think he genuinely did not expect to get as far as he did. When he got there, he thought he could run it the same way he runs everything else, and he's learning very quickly that it doesn't work that way. That's the reason why he can't get this health bill pushed through. That's the reason why he sends out these random tweets. He's basically just baiting people, and they go for it every single time. So I don't know why people get so angry at Trump when you see it. He is basically an internet troll who happens to be sitting in the Oval Office.
With a really bad comb over.
Personified.
Yeah, he is the most powerful man in the world is now an internet troll. That's where we're at right now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll buy that. I believe that.
But the thing is, people know this and they still fall for it.
But the thing is, they're not used to. He is not playing their game.
Yeah. And that's the one thing I like about it.
They don't know how to deal with that. They don't know how to deal with somebody who doesn't play by their rules.
So what are they trying to do? They're trying to say, well, we got to dig up something on him and get rid of him. You can't, because here's the other thing about Trump. Whatever they dig up on Trump, if he turns that back and uses the exact same thing against them, every single person that's pointing that finger at Trump has more dirt than he has.
That's probably true. That's probably very true. But I don't think that he's savvy enough to dig it up on them.
He doesn't have to be. Because if they dig deep enough, if they point to some relationship, let's say he actually does have some intimate relationships with some Russians, I guarantee you, whoever Trump has access to, Hillary had access to, or Obama had access to, and I remember this video, I saw it years ago, before Obama's second election, he was at one of those meetings with Putin, and he said, the things that I want to do, I can't do right now, but after this election, I'll be able to do them. He was basically saying, I'm going to lean more toward Russia and let you guys have more access.
That's the thing.
And I think it was specifically about Syria.
How dare
Obama maybe Obama had some kind of connections, and maybe Clinton did too, but neither one of them are in the White House right now.
My point is this, though. They're just mad because they don't agree with Trump. But Obama did everything they say they don't like Trump doing. Obama did those things more. Obama deported more people than any president prior to him. Obama's health care plan is a tragic failure. Everybody's saying they have health care, but nobody looks at the timelines that were implemented for the health care plan. Everybody's premiums are going to shoot up more in the next couple of years. And it's built into the legislation that that's what's going to happen because the government knows they can't pay for it.
Oh, yeah. It's not a stretch to understand that what they've been doing is not sustainable long term.
So why is everybody acting like it's a holy grail when it's not? It's just a poison that works slowly, but it's still poison. And we're going to praise him for giving us a slow-working poison? I can't get with that. So again, that's the only reason why I ever say I almost said go Trump, but I can't bring myself to do it. That's the only reason why I say I think Trump is what America needs, is because he's done two things, and I've been very consistent about this point. He did what he said he was going to do, or at least he tries to do what he said he was going to do. Every other president, ever since I've been voting, has always made promises, and every single one of them failed. I'm still waiting for those 1,000 points of light from the first Bush.
1,000 points.
I'm still waiting for some of that economics to trickle down from Reagan. It never happens. Clinton did more to hurt the communities he's supposed to represent than any other president. It was under him that we got 3 strikes laws. It was under him that the crack laws became like the worst. How is it that marijuana is rated by the FDA as more dangerous than cocaine? And how is it that you can have 1 gram rock and you're doing 20 years, but you have 20 pounds of cocaine and you do 5?
I think the reason, and I'm going to go out on a limb here. The reason that marijuana was labeled more dangerous is because they've always considered marijuana to be the quote-unquote gateway drug. It was the stuff that everybody.
Sense.
Well, no, it does make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Everybody knows that marijuana is not nearly as dangerous, as potent, as destructive as some of those other drugs. But the problem is, you start using the marijuana. You like the way it feels. Eventually, you build up a tolerance. You need to use more. And at some point, you want a bigger high, so you graduate to something else.
Simply isn't true.
Well, it's the same method. It is the same methodology by which auto manufacturers try to sell cars. You have the base model,
it's not the same
stripped-down car. Yes, it is. You have the base model car that brings everybody in as the first-time buyer car, and then they hope that you enjoy driving that so much that you graduate as you get older to one of their, more top-of-the-line jobs with more bells and whistles on it.
People don't go looking for crack because they smoked marijuana. People smoke crack because somebody gave them crack for free, and they know once you try crack, you get hooked. Nobody ever went and bought a dime bag and it's like, you know what, today I'm going to try some crack. No, somebody has to give you the crack. It's not a gateway where you go buy marijuana and then the next day you want to go buy some cocaine. It does not work that way. And typically, the bigger problem isn't that marijuana leads to these issues. The problem is what is making a person look for drugs in the first place, because it's not recreation. These people are trying to escape their lives, which are full of turmoil. If you look at the 80s in the inner city, you can look at the inner city now. People are suffering, and they're looking for a way out. There's this one rap artist, and he did this song called Hypotenuse, and the chorus of the song is, I don't want to have
geometry reference. Because my eyes are glazing over as we speak.
Well, no, but the chorus of the song, his name is Selah the Corner. You can look him up. The
Google it.
Chorus of the song. The chorus of the song is, I don't want to have to get high to get sober. And that's because for some people, just to get to a level where their stress is not killing them, they have to take something to calm themselves down.
Which is why our show is here. So give us a call tonight at 951-356-6882. And we'll help bring you down or bring you up. I don't know. Where do we go with that?
My point is, Trump's not going anywhere, people. Suck it up. Deal with it.
Well, I don't know.
He's not going anywhere.
That machine is building steam, and we may see him get hurt before this is over with.
They would do better for themselves to keep him in there than to get rid of him.
Do you think he's going to win
if they get
another
Trump
4 years?
Out, then who's next in line?
I don't see him getting reelected, but then I didn't see him getting elected. So,
he's already campaigning.
Yeah.
And doing well.
Well, anyway.
And it's not because he's that great. It's because the Republicans suck and the Democrats suck, and third parties are not an option.
That's the reason why he's going to win.
Speaking of useless